our time and they haven't given me the signal yet. Go to home on the range, please. Under the H's. Something short. Home on the range. Taking them a while to get lined up, I guess. Beautiful playing, Jerry. Beautiful.
That was all right.
It's all right, he said. 2 empty beats. Alberta ready, if she's standing there, but I guess they're not ready to go yet. Take out 3 airs from Gloucester at the back of the book, and we'll play the first movement of that till they give us the signal. Be ready for a cutoff at any time. Take 3 airs. Dum ba dum bum bum. Alberta, fanfare and processional, O Canada. Perfect timing in a way. Alberta.
True patriot love in all of us command, car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Whatsoever things are true. A promise made here at the University of Alberta over 100 years ago. Today we are gathered to celebrate this commitment to ourselves and to the community. We celebrate with all those who leave here today with their degrees. May you continue to seek truth. May you continue to serve in our global home. May you continue to grow in wisdom and understanding. And may you continue to uphold the university's values of integrity, freedom, and the equality and dignity of all persons to create a community filled with promise for the future and goodwill toward all. Please be seated. Welcome to the University of Alberta. My name is Doug Stollery, and I have the privilege of serving as Chancellor of the University and conferring all of your degrees today. The University of Alberta acknowledges that we are located on Treaty 6 territory and respects the histories, languages, and cultures of First Nations, Métis, Inuit, and all First Peoples of Canada, whose presence continues to enrich our vibrant community. On behalf of the entire university community, I'm delighted to welcome you to this convocation. Graduates, we're very pleased that so many of your friends and family members could join us to celebrate your degrees. As you participate in today's ceremony, you are walking in the footsteps of many generations of scholars. Today's formal opening procession to the stage, led by our Chief Marshal and the University Mace, originates in the procession of the Guild of Teachers. Such guilds in past centuries were dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge. Individuals moved from apprentice to master to teacher, assuming increasing responsibilities for learning and leadership in society. The many different academic gowns, hoods, and caps here on stage today reflect centuries of university tradition. As Chancellor, I wear our University of Alberta colors of green and gold. The different colors of your own faculty hoods signify to everyone here and to our society the degree that you have earned. Your caps or Oxford-style mortarboards may be considered a symbol of the scholar's independence and freedom. Today, we are all here to celebrate your freedom and to recognize your new leadership roles in our community. We will hear from the chair of our Board of Governors and our university president. We will also hear from Dr. Carol Cass, who has accepted our invitation to receive an honorary doctorate of science, our university's highest honor. An honorary degree recognizes inspiring role models and leaders, celebrating extraordinary achievements or remarkable service to our society. Following the presentation of the honorary degree, we will begin with the recognition of your degrees. Your dean will present you on behalf of the faculty, and our president will guide you through your pledge to pursue the encouragement of learning and the public good. It will then be my great honor to admit you to your degrees and confer upon you all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities that come with being a university graduate. Then it will be your turn up here with us. Each of you will cross the stage as your name is called. For everyone here, that will be the most important part of our ceremony. Your degree will be conferred as I congratulate you and we meet each other on stage. So a word of advice. Since your degree is conferred when you greet the Chancellor, it's important to remember to stop and greet the Chancellor. That moment will bind you and the University of Alberta together for all time. President and Vice Chancellor Dr. David Turpin and the Chair of our Board of Governors, Mr. Michael Fair, join me in recognizing Elder Betty Latendre, who is here today to extend a special recognition to Indigenous members of our learning community. Distinguished guests on the Convocation stage also include a number of community leaders, the Dean and professors from our Faculty of Science, and other members of our Academy. In reference to members of our Academy, I'd like to take a moment to remember our friend and colleague, Dr. Margaret Ann Armour. After earning a PhD in organic chemistry from our university, Dr. Armour joined our chemistry department in 1979. Over the next 40 years, Dr. Armour earned a worldwide reputation for her research and teaching in hazardous waste handling and disposal. She also led the way as a champion for women in the sciences and contributed in countless ways to our community. Dr. Armour passed away on May 25th. She was a kind and gentle soul, and our university and our community have been enriched by her life. I would now like to invite greetings from the Chair of our University Board of Governors, Mr. Michael Fair.
Eminent Chancellor, Mr. Douglas Dalry, President Dr. David Turpin, distinguished guests, graduates, families, and friends. I'm pleased to be here today on behalf of the Board of Governors to bring the board's greetings and congratulations. Today is a day of celebration when the entire university community, along with your families and friends, gathers to celebrate you, the graduating class of 2019. It is also a day to celebrate the university. Through the mission to promote the public good, the University of Alberta successfully provided the academic resources that will continue to support your engagement with issues and opportunities of 2019 and beyond. Collectively and cooperatively, each of you will be the generation that moves us forward in the arts, in the economy, in knowledge, discovery, and research. You have changed, transformed over your years at the University of Alberta. Those of us on the stage and your friends and family in the auditorium see you moving into the broader community that respects, embraces, nurtures, and celebrates the diversity of our society. You are the kind of citizen who share your knowledge, understanding, thoughtfulness, and skills that are foundations to a civil society, competent, giving, ethical, and engaged today and tomorrow. Congratulations to your families, friends, and supporters. Be proud. Savor your success. Enjoy today, and we wish you the very best for the future.
It's now my pleasure to invite Dr. David Turpin, the President of the University of Alberta, to address Convocation.
Eminent Chancellor, distinguished guests, members of the Academy, staff, family, friends, and especially you, our graduates, congratulations and well done. A few years ago, you set a goal, and through hard work and dedication, you've achieved it. If we've done our job well, it hasn't been easy, and you've had to maybe do a little bit more than you first expected. And that's a big part of the point. The degree you take home today is a testament to others. It tells them that you can set goals and meet them. Even more importantly, your degree tells you that you have the skills and ability to succeed. Now, as you all know, universities are great at helping you set your goals. We set out very clearly at the beginning of your degree what credits you'll need, which required courses, and so on. Your professors hand out syllabi at the beginning of each course, and they outline the assignments and the deadlines, and most of the time, we don't change that plan. The map to the finish line is pretty clear. Having that map is important if we're talking about earning a degree or a credential. But the reality is, life generally doesn't work that way. The truth is now that your future is unmapped territory. Plans will be made and goals set, and no doubt you will achieve many of them. But you will also sometimes fail or run into insurmountable barriers. You may find it takes much longer than expected to find the right job or feel like you found your niche. The opportunities and offers that do come along may not make immediate sense in terms of your long-term goals, but moving forward will mean that you need to adapt. Today, just when we are celebrating the achievement and benefits of reaching a major goal, I want to encourage you to focus less on having a definitive future goal and instead remind yourself to be open to detours and changes in destination. For those of you who are getting just a little bit tired of hearing the question, so what next? I want to assure you that that's okay. Now, parents, stay with me for just a moment here. I'm really not suggesting that your child embrace a future of listless misdirection. Instead, I think it's worth noting that it's often only in retrospect that we can see how all of the smaller choices we make in our lives add up to a coherent whole. Let me give you an example. Like so many of you, over the past 7 years, my wife Sharamithra and I have watched 7 seasons of Game of Thrones. Now, last winter, at our remote cabin, when the rain just wouldn't stop, we binge-watched them all over again. Now, I can tell you, it all makes a whole lot more sense second time through, because we knew where all those twists and turns were heading. Now, please, no spoilers. Season 8 is going to have to wait until next winter. And as we all know, winter is coming. Now, my point is that in hindsight, each of our lives makes much more sense than they do as we live them. It's easy for me to see now how I moved from an undergraduate degree in biology to my being here behind this podium. But I can tell you that when I finished my undergraduate studies, I had no idea where I would end up. I only knew that I had a passion for the ocean and wanted to learn as much about it as I could. I never imagined becoming a professor. And then once I became a professor, I didn't have a clue that one day I would end up a dean or a university president. All of these things happened because when opportunities came along, I opened myself to the possibilities. I listened to others to understand why they thought the opportunity might suit me. I asked myself if I would learn something from it. Would I be able to make a meaningful contribution? And thanks to these unexpected detours, I came to see myself differently. And the goals I thought I had were gradually refined into something I never could have anticipated. What has remained constant are 3 fundamental lessons I learned early on in my life from teachers and mentors. The first is to always strive for excellence. Do not accept good enough when you know you are capable of doing better. In other words, always work hard, seek to make a contribution, and make whatever workplace you are a part of better for you being there. The second is to take care of the people around you. As a young scuba diving instructor, I learned right away that my actions could mean the difference between life and death for my students. No matter our role, we have a duty to care for one another and do our utmost to make life better for others. And the third, and most important, is to know your values, those principles and standards that you use to judge what is most important in your life. When I look back on my life, I see lots of detours and changes in destination. But running through it all are the values that have guided me and helped me make decisions large and small. Human beings like predictability and order. Yet we risk speeding our way to total predictability with various algorithms, reading our preferences and limiting our choices to what we already know we like, while ignoring those things that we may in fact grow to love. All of this predictability can cut off a vast array of opportunities and rob us of our creativity. Having to adapt, to make imaginative leaps, to learn something new, these are skills you already have and our world needs badly. We face serious and important challenges, and we need your leadership to help our communities adapt. We need all of you to help all of us change direction and create new plans and new goals that will reshape our collective future. So, when you consider your future, draw your map with a pencil and carry along an eraser. Be open to changes in destination. Take some risks. Focus more on the values that guide your journey rather than on the final goal. Those values will help you to decide which opportunity or detour is worth taking and where you have something to contribute. Finally, look to the person on your right and to your left, to those in front and in the auditorium behind you, and be aware that you are part of a community that walks with you. Sometimes we will share your goal. At others, we will help you to see another path. And sometimes you will lead the rest of us. You join a vibrant community of more than 290,000 University of Alberta alumni who, like you, have and will continue to do all that they can to make their communities near and far better for all. So to each and every one of you, congratulations. And we look forward with great anticipation to all your future accomplishments. Thank you and congratulations.
Knowledge shall not be the concern of scholars alone. The uplifting of the whole people shall be its final goal.
They inspire us all with their brilliance, creative force, and fervent desire to make the world a better place.
I accept in the name of our poor people.
Dream your dreams. It is possible to have a new kind of world.
Those who receive an honorary degree from the University of Alberta set the highest standards of dedication and excellence for students and for society at large.
It is a good day to be you.
Remember who you are. Remember where you come from.
And while their backgrounds and fields of endeavor vary widely, all are exceptional.
Maybe it's best if I just speak from the heart.
I will
we face today a clash of ignorances.
You are who make the history. You are who create the future.
U of A honorary degree recipients embody the university's vision to inspire the human spirit through outstanding achievements in learning, discovery, and citizenship in a creative community.
Your generation will be called upon to balance what is now moving quickly to a tipping point.
I think we are now in the threshold of a new beginning.
It is a spirit that is building one of the world's great universities for the public good.
It is your attitude that will sustain you. It is not what happens to you, it is what you do with it.
Go out and not simply change the world, go out and save the world. That is what I would seek you to do.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate of the University of Alberta, it is our privilege to introduce Carol Elizabeth Bird Cass for the honorary degree of Doctor of Science, our learning community's highest recognition. The groundbreaking work by Dr. Cass and her research team has transformed our understanding of the structural and functional relationship of nucleosides with their transporters in human cells. This discovery was fundamental for the development of nucleoside drugs that have benefited patients with leukemias, lymphomas, lung, breast, and other cancers worldwide. Dr. Cass has published nearly 230 peer-reviewed original manuscripts on her research and close to 50 invited book chapters and reviews. She has received numerous awards, including the Letsizer Gold Medal for the top fourth-year female student at the University of Oklahoma, the Jean Mannery Fisher Memorial Award from the Canadian Society for Molecular Biosciences, Terry Fox Research Scientist and the Robert L. Noble Prize from the National Cancer Institute of Canada, and a Tier 1 Canada Research Chair from the Government of Canada. Dr. Cass is an elected Fellow of the Royal Society of Canada Academy of Science and an elected Fellow of the Canadian Academy of Health Sciences.
Dr. Cass was also the first basic scientist and among the first women to head a department at the University of Alberta Faculty of Medicine and Dentistry. As chair of oncology, she spearheaded the department's expansion from 40 to over 100 academic staff, creating new opportunities for cancer research, in addition to training the next generation of radiation oncologists, medical physicists, and specialists in palliative care. She's also the first woman and the first non-physician to have served as the director of the Cross Cancer Institute. Throughout her term, she worked very closely with the Institute's Volunteer Association. In 2009, she was elected an honorary member, just one of 4 individuals in the association's 50-year history. Dr. Cass has chaired the Advisory Committee on Research for the National Cancer Institute of Canada and served as a member of the Governing Council of the Canadian Partnership for Tomorrow Project, an emerging platform for precision health. In 2018, she received the Alberta Medical Association's Medal of Honor for contributions to quality health care in Alberta. This morning, we celebrate an inspiring legacy of academic and clinical leadership. And we celebrate Dr. Cass's transformative contributions to personalized medical care for the majority of cancer patients treated today. Eminent Chancellor, with deep respect, we present to you Carol Elizabeth Bird Cass.
Carol Elizabeth Bird Cass, in recognition of transformative contributions to healthcare, research, and education, I desire to confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Science and to express the wish that we shall continue to be enriched by your wise counsel for many years to come. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Eminent Chancellor, President, Chair of the Board of Governors, members of the Academy, graduands, friends, and family. I thank the University for the honorary degree and the invitation to give the Faculty of Science commencement address this morning. I will describe highlights of my professional development, focusing on special people who influenced me when I was young, and will share with you their most important advice. First, a few words about my childhood in rural Oklahoma in the 1950s. My father was the only doctor in our county, always available to his patients whether or not they could pay, and no matter what their origins. My mother was a homemaker. I'm the oldest of 5 children. Our house was on the only paved street in town. Books and journals were stacked to the ceiling in several rooms. There was a grand piano in the living room. It's now in my home here in Edmonton, over 100 years old. A small organ in the den, and pets of many varieties: dogs, cats, birds, fish, turtles, sometimes a rabbit. The backyard had fruit trees, my mother's vegetable and flower gardens, my father's telescope. He wanted to put it on top of the house, but my mother wouldn't allow it. So it was on a concrete pad in the backyard, and lots of play space for the children. My parents taught me to read early. I think I was about 3. And as I matured, encouraged me to reach high intellectually. They taught me to have confidence in my ability and to care about knowledge. I grew up knowing that I would go to university and have a career. Sorry about that. I spent the 1960s, 10 years altogether, as a student. First at the University of Oklahoma for a BSc and MSc, and then at the University of California at Berkeley for a PhD. When I started at OU, I was only 16 and very impressionable. I had a lot to learn yet about life. I had chosen psychology as my major subject, but in my first year, I took zoology to fulfill a science requirement. My life changed forever with that course. I was assigned to a section taught by one of the university's finest professors, Paul David. He was an imposing man, nearing retirement, with white hair and a stern demeanor. We were sometimes afraid of him, actually, and had written a major text in human genetics. His course was fascinating, and by the end of the year, I had switched to zoology as my major subject. Professor David's extraordinary ability as a teacher stimulated me to want to know more about biology and ultimately to become a scientist. A few years later, when I was writing my MSc thesis at OU, Professor David, who was not very impressed with the first draft of my thesis, gave me his personal copy of a style manual, the famous Strunk and White, sternly advising me to improve my writing skills. I took his advice and have the same for you. Words matter. Your efforts, no matter how innovative, will be in vain if you are not understood. In 1965, I moved to Berkeley, arriving at the beginning of student protests against the Vietnam War. With its traditions of academic achievement, there were over 10 Nobel Prize winners at that time on the campus, and political activism, all kinds of riots and student demonstrations occurring, UC Berkeley was formidable and sometimes overwhelming. I wanted to study cell biology, a new field then, and selected Morgan Harris as my supervisor. An innovative researcher and a pioneer in techniques for growing animal cells and culture, he had just written an impressive and prescient book entitled Somatic Cell Genetics. Professor Harris introduced me to cancer research. My thesis project on drug resistance sparked my interest in cellular uptake. Professor Harris had many interests: mountain climbing, he had several first summits in Yosemite, bird watching, world traveler, environment, he was a member of the board of directors of the Sierra Club. His important advice, which I share with you today, is to seek balance in your life. In 1969, my husband Dave, who's sitting in the audience, accepted a faculty position in botany at the University of Alberta. The following year, I joined him in Edmonton as a postdoctoral fellow in the McEachern Cancer Research Laboratory and the Department of Biochemistry. Dave and I initially planned to return to the United States after 5 years. Here we are, 48 amazing years later. When I joined Alan Patterson's group as a postdoctoral fellow, he had just made a remarkable discovery. In a search for new drugs that inhibited cancer cell metabolism, he had found a potent compound that only worked in intact cells. If the cells were broken up, the effect disappeared. This was an unexpected result, and actually not the one that he had wanted. Instead of discarding it as an artifact, he reasoned that the compound blocked movement of nucleosides into cells rather than metabolism inside cells. To test his idea, Professor Patterson learned how to study the kinetics of cellular uptake process, something which he actually knew nothing about until he had made this discovery. And then he went on to demonstrate for the first time ever that nucleosides are carried into cells by specialized transporters located in cell membranes. The potent inhibitor was the magic key that opened the door to studying the newly discovered transporter proteins. In 1970, nucleoside transport was a project in a single laboratory at the University of Alberta in the basement of what is now the Dentistry Pharmacy Building. Today, we know that nucleoside transporters are widely distributed in nature and occur in most cell types in tissues. In humans, we have shown that they must function for anti-cancer nucleoside drugs to get into cells and work. And here is my final advice. For those of you who will become researchers, follow the question, even if it means venturing into new areas and using new technologies. As Professor Patterson often said, cherish your anomalies. You may make an important discovery. So, I congratulate today's new graduates and wish you good fortune in the future. I thank the university for honoring me. Finally, I thank my family, mentors, and colleagues, many of whom are here today, for their help and guidance over the years. Thank you.
Dr. Cass, thank you for sharing your life story, which is a true inspiration to this morning's graduates. Thank you in particular for reminding us of the importance of words, the importance of balance in one's life, and the importance of following the question, wherever it may lead. To commemorate this honorary degree, we would now ask you to sign our University Honor Roll. And that makes it official. You are now a member of the University of Alberta class of 2019. Welcome to the family. And now, graduates, it is your turn. As the name of each graduand is called across the stage, I will formally admit you to your degrees, and we will have an opportunity to congratulate you. On your journey across the stage, you will also walk past the University of Alberta ceremonial mace. Centuries ago, the mace was a symbol of authority over life and death. Today, this mace represents the life-changing power of knowledge and the importance of our university and our graduates in the community. I look forward to meeting you here on stage.
The candidates for degrees will please rise. And follow on page 5 of the Convocation program, unless you have it memorized. You have a spoken response, so please follow along. Eminent Chancellor and President, on behalf of the faculty, I present to you these scholars and ask that they be pledged and admitted to the degrees to which they are entitled.
Do you promise faithfully to observe and loyally to maintain the statutes, customs, privileges, and liberties of this, your university? Do you solemnly promise to conduct yourself in all things loyally and faithfully to the honor of your university, the encouragement of learning, and the good of your country?
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of this province and with the consent of this university, I admit you to the degrees to which you are entitled and invest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining to such degrees. I charge you to use them for the uplifting of the whole people, to inspire the human spirit, to serve your community for the public good, and to pursue more steadfastly whatsoever things are true. Please be seated.
Eminent Chancellor, for the degree of Bachelor of Science. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of Professor Frank Marsiglio, I present the following graduates for degrees in the Faculty of Science. Amanda Lee Anges. Mustafa Abbasi Desfoli with distinction. Faiza Abdullah Noor. Wahidia Sharif Abu Bakr. Joel Agarwal. Alyssa Stephanie Agostinis with distinction. Shukriya Ahadi. Jarlo Lariosa Alganyan with distinction. Emily Danielle Ampako with distinction. Jonah Angelis. Annalise Maria Arnold with distinction. Abdul Rahman bin Arshad. Celine Joanne Ballet. Apala Banerjee with distinction. Maria Munir Berry. Christina Elizabeth Basler with distinction. Receiving today both a Bachelor of Science and a Research Certificate in Science, Talia Karine Belcher with distinction. Nate Andrew Belanger. Faina Benyaminov. Joshua Aaron Berdigan. Michael Anthony Besplug. Mandeep Binder. Roshina Bindu Robinson. Sade Binns. Justin Graydon Bishop with distinction. Lauren Hannah Bland with distinction. Clark Christopher Bliss. Receiving today both a Bachelor of Science and a Certificate in International Learning, Anna Oksana Bodner. Ryan Russell Bordage Keats. River Tate Bossert with distinction. Amy Marie Boucher with distinction. Taylor Elena Boyd. Tegan Sarah Jane Boyd with distinction. Receiving both a Bachelor of Science and a Research Certificate in Science, Thomas William Brown with distinction. Nicole Bunviate. That would be Bunviate, by the way, for the parents. Dan Kwang Kam. Donna Kao. Xuan Sao. Jamie Chun Wood Chan. Crystal Lynn Shant with distinction. Sicheng Chen. Ka Ki Cheng. Dorcas Cherabon Cheragoni. Mori Chida. Jonghum Cho. Noah Hyun Cho with distinction. Maria Harmony Holy Choi with distinction. Ming Chuang. Brianne Elizabeth Clapson. Sydney Jean Claridge. Emily Akemi Elizabeth Collins with distinction. Liam Noel Condon. Shaylee Cheryl Bridget Connors. Hannah Ray Cook. Emily Catherine Craig with distinction. Ashley Lauren Crawford. Jenna Lorena Cross. Brandon Richard Crotto. Robin Crowley. Wei Roy Che. Nadia Datanye with distinction. Jason Scott Davis. Sydney Page Deblois with distinction. London William Admiral de Hoog with distinction. Gurneet Kaur Dhaliwal. Chandan Dhaliwal. Pavanit Natasha Dhaliwal. Ruhi Danani with distinction. Sean Kaur Dillon with distinction. Simran Dillon. Hassanatu Diallo. Receiving both a Bachelor of Science and a Certificate in Sustainability, Kezia Winona Diaz. Kathleen Morgan Deacon with distinction. Meng Ding. Brandon Taylor Dixon. Teshia Michelle De Blanco with distinction. Recipient of a Dean's Gold Medal in Science, Samin Dola Tabadi with distinction. Tony Mackenzie Dolan. Cody Reed Dominy. Josie Lynn Drozdowski. Sumit Singh Dugal. Christian Dusaban. Mary Paulette Egbona. Well, that's making a point. Receiving today a Bachelor of Science and a Certificate in Interdisciplinary Leadership Studies, Yomna Hisham El Shamhi. Alexandria Riley Esposito. Caitlin Marisol Fagan. Kayleen Catherine Jean Farn. Alexander Filbert with distinction. Brianna Madison Fleece. Jacqueline Renee Forrest. Ella Mithra Edith Forgy with distinction. Rupinder Kaur Gegar. Dylan Andrew John Gallant. Haitian Gao. Izzat Gaznawal. Winter Gebra Michael. Daniel Godz Esfahani with distinction. Ekamdeep Kaur Gill. Sean Richard Gleason with distinction. Brandon Godley. Shilpa Vijay Gohil. Michael Gong. Hannah Tesoro Gonzalez. Receiving a Bachelor of Science and a Certificate in Sustainability, Hannah Morgan Graham. Caitlin Vincenza Ann Grande. Yang Gu with distinction. Gina Gabriela Guzman Rivarola. Sulakshana Gia. Mohammed Hadi. Juliana Halabi. Syed Azhar Hamid with distinction. Donglin Han with distinction. Jacqueline Han with distinction. Shangchen Han. Wehao Han. Jeffrey Dennis Hanesick. Shayna June Harris. Lan He with distinction. Jen Ning Tony He. Julia Rebecca Heaton with distinction. Receiving a Bachelor of Science and a Certificate in International Learning, Philip Emmanuel Hillen. Bruce Hong. Nina Melissa Janine Hoffman. Taylor Amanda Hoffman. Lina Jose. Iwahana Rutkowski. Weili Hu. Mingyuan Huang. Lily Huang. Yu Huang. Roxanne Penny Hughes. Zoya Hussein. Evan Allen Ireland. Nazish Jabin. Alexander Ryan Jacobs. Mohammed Jama with distinction. Christian Luka Yankovic with distinction. Jakia Sultana Jerry. Jeremy Gerasi with distinction. Daniel Jin. Kyle Micah Johnston with distinction. Yuen Ju. Anna Jovtulia with distinction. Rosemary Liane Jukovsky. Anna Christine Janssen Kallisvart with distinction. Rohan Kademi with distinction. Ayman Khan. Samina Saba Kandokar. Andrew Sang Hyun Kim with distinction. Receiving a Bachelor of Science, a certificate in sustainability, a certificate in international learning, and a certificate in global citizenship, Jonghui Michelle Kim. Prabdeep Kaur Klur. Emily Rose Conrad with distinction. Colby Noel Kruger with distinction. Tanu Singh Kular with distinction. Receiving her Bachelor of Science and a certificate in international learning, Hannah Amy Tess Kumatiki. Monica Teresa Kuras with distinction. Ye Rim Kwan. Cody Labrec. Jing Yulan. Receiving a Bachelor of Science and a certificate in international learning, Jessica Lau. Receiving a Bachelor of Science and a certificate in sustainability, Julia Huan Ngoc Lee. Annie Irma Lee. Jason Alexander Lee. Vian Lee. Abby Renee Lemongen with distinction. Guan Hao Lee. Haichuan Lee. Hui Yen Lee. Jamie Wing-Si Lee. Wan Yi Li. Xiao Yun Li. Tian Yi Liang. Jackie Lin. Wei Lin. Nikhil Edwin Lingham. Boyang Liu. Zoe Royi Liu. Danielle Jean Livingstone. Emily Lowe with distinction. Karen Joyce Sanchez Lorenzo. Louisa Liu with distinction. Zhengping Liu. Jingyi Luan. Corey Luda with distinction. Brandon Luong with distinction. Kevin Ma. Adana Genevieve Madurke. Shui Yi Ma. Mariah Janelle Macavinta. Riley Jack MacDonald. Bryce Robert McKay. Rachel Sandra McKenzie. Kaylee Linda Rose Murray. Jessica Hannah Ma. Ryan Jean Ma. Jeremy Nicholas Maho with distinction. Colby Alex Maisonneuve. Rachel Jean Mackey. Paige Makal Maxim. Keja Aruj Malik with distinction. Claire Elizabeth Mandrusiak with distinction. Nicole Maria Manseth with distinction. Avneet Kaur Mangat with distinction. Cassidy Christine Mansell Reagan with distinction. Feng Yi Mao. Gunwant Kaur Mutharu with distinction. Taylor Samantha Mayton with distinction. Liam Vincent McLean. Rachel Marie McDonald. Caitlin Elizabeth McEwen with distinction. Ray Yu Meng. Hayat Salahadin Merda. Menglu Mi. Janelle Corey Milius. Shayla Marie Missel. Tea Hideko Mianega. Mursal Ali Muhammad with distinction. Jordan Lee Morgan. Ching Zong Mo. Michelle Marie Musso with distinction. Matthew Marie Muller with distinction. Ainsley Charlotte Murphy. Judea Yaris Negra. Receiving both a Bachelor of Science and a Research Certificate in Biological Sciences, Katrina Faith Brianne Neal. Anya Nell with distinction. Ashley Lynn Nelson. Alexis Michaela Newman with distinction. Haley Elizabeth Newman. Johanna Ing. Vanna Vivi Nguyen. Shui Ting Ni. Chun Yuan Nye. Boyana Nikic with distinction. Hazuki Nishijima. Matea Norsik. Abdulaziz Bayoni Akinsola Ajatola. Sarah Oluwafisayomi. Okay. One cheer per syllable. Thank you. Junior Bariminya Samuel Okpoko. Eponine Paulina Oler. Candice Joy Coras Oliva. Kelly On. Receiving a Bachelor of Science and a Certificate in International Learning, Sarah Emily Orenstein. Stephen Thomas Packer. Grace Laurie Paul. Megan Alice Palmer with distinction. Jedok Paines. Kylie Marie Parent, or Parent, if you prefer, with distinction. Seo Park. Rishit Jitendra Patalia. Aditi Patel with distinction. Dimple Dimant Patel with distinction. Krista Ray Patterson. Shannon Sophia Alicia Patterson. Rika Yolin Ambayak Paula with distinction. Austin Jelani Pennyfeather. Sydney Molly Perrin. Simran Ajay Perwani with distinction. Kathleen Phyllis Pick with distinction. Leah Grace Pikama. Sheldon Tyler Pittman. Florence Plamondon. Stephanie Michelle Poirier. Shane Kenneth Pon. Idil Potoroglu. Abigail Leah Ruth Prott. Atia Kalen Faith Purificate Fune with distinction. Yi Qian. Ibo Chen. Jonah Mackenzie Quist. Nassim Imad Rais with distinction. Shivani Ralhan with distinction. Maha Rehman with distinction. Ryan Dirk Reinders with distinction. Christian Gerald Mamak Rentuza. Shah Ali Rizvi. Kristen Rosagaran. Spencer William Roth. Sarah Taylor Rubelak. Narissa Tajdin Ruda with distinction. Natalia Alexandra Rudolph with distinction. Sarah Sadat with distinction. Chandu Presi Sadasivan with distinction. Sarah Sajiv with distinction. Paru Sapkota. Hannah Marie Sasowicz. Taylor Laurie Sawchuk with distinction. Allison Marie Sears. Alexis Brian Senyak. Idris Sana. Shardul Sanjay Shah. Vishay Vikash Shankar. Adirman Warsame Shekdan with distinction. Ranjashi Shen. Chen Xiao Sheng. Sarah Shillabir. Veronica Qingyi Shim. Omama Shoib. Adam Allen Shomachuk. Sangrit Kaur Sidhu. Sienna Marie Susahai. Shivdeep Sihota. Degas Aston Sikorsky. Spriha Singh with distinction. Caleb Emil Sin with distinction. Reshma Siraji with distinction. Kira Dawn Smith. Philip Broderick Smith. Shichong Song. Shujia Song. Jordan Eric Cooper Soprovich. Denton Wyatt Spornitz. Shin Won. Ojas Srivastava with distinction. Cody Robert Steves with distinction. Mara Yvonne Steiner with distinction. Samantha Eve Stern. Roman Stetsiak. Bradley Peter Stewart. Morgan Lee Stubbs. Julian Peter Stice. Receiving a Bachelor of Science and a Research Certificate, Ola Sultan with distinction. Julia Genevieve Sumbilla. Vishali Sangar. Camille Christopher Sviatek. Jonas Solowicki with distinction. Sarah Chinsam Tan with distinction. Rabia Tariq with distinction. Shannon Tay. Joshua Robert Teasdale. Fu Wei Teng. Joanne Jia Min Tai. Jenny Tong. Ria Thomas with distinction. Grace Jenny Tingy with distinction. Kelly Wei Gwen To with distinction. Canopus Tong. Amanda Rose Torbiak. Pavel Turin. Haley Tripp with distinction. Lan Monica Nguyen Trong with distinction. Ian Spencer Turnbull. Romalie Russell Sigua Tuzon. Isaac Lewis Twelves with distinction. Miriam Joyce Verghese. Kendall Emerson Verhulst with distinction. Lorena Andreana Viloria Guerra with distinction. Alia Hasina Verji with distinction. Receiving a Bachelor of Science and a certificate in Engaged Leadership and Citizenship, Dominic Martin Cameron Vota. Dominic Huao Long Vu. Stephen Michael Wagers. Leah Diane Whalen. Samara Wajahat. Olivia Jessie Walker. Haolu Wang. Holin Wang. Nyanchi Wang, Xinju Wang, Yi Cheng Wang, Callum Drake Francis Ward, Aliana Nawaz Wazir with distinction, Peng Wen, Mackenzie Ann Wiggers with distinction, Karis Hope Williamson, Ama Wayadu, Ryan Stephen Whitrock with distinction, Johan Wong, Tiffany Kwan Shui Wong, Poonam Devi Usari, Ben Shin Wu, Jiayue Wu, Qian Ting Wu, Yi Wu, Yun Tao Wu, Xianghe Shong, Yuhang Shuang, Ningwei Shu, Amy Shu, Shi Ying Shui, Aiden Michael Yakamishin with distinction, Xingyuan Yang, Brandon James Yarema, Alyssa Paige Yesu, Gina Yun with distinction, Denise Louise Young, receiving a Bachelor of Science and a Certificate in Sustainability, Caitlin Dawn Zadunaiski, Amna Zafar with distinction, Oliver Pablo Zamponi, Norbert Pavel Zatonsky, Chen Zhang, Chen Zhang, Chen Chao Zhang, Di Zhang, Haonan Zhang, Jianhui Zhang, Louise Zhang, Xinjiang, Xiaopeng Zhao, Jie Zhou, Zilin Zhou, and Zoe Georgia Uldal Zwegenbaum.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty, I present to you the remaining scholars whose names appear on the convocation program but who are not in attendance.
Well, graduates, you've made it. You are now officially on the other side. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2019. Well, grads, now it's your turn. I'm going to ask you to stand up and turn around and get everyone's attention. Let's give the people who have supported you through all of this, your parents and siblings, your grandparents, your spouses and children and friends, stand up and give them a huge round of applause. Today is truly a proud day for them and for the University of Alberta. In total, this spring, we are graduating 6,890 students. So now that I've got you all back with us, it's time to turn our attention to the final part of today's ceremony. Before you are formally welcomed into the University of Alberta Alumni Association, I invite you to watch the screens for the presentation of a special video montage. The song that accompanies the video, Je te retrouve, or I Remember You, was commissioned by Campus Saint-Jean in 2008 in honor of the University of Alberta's centenary. It captures the hopefulness and potential of days spent at the university and hopefully sparks your own memories of your years here. The song is also a display of many University of Alberta talents. It was composed by Professor Emeritus and Honorary degree recipient Dr. Franz Lavoisier-Ouimet, and arranged by U of A alumnus Dr. Alan Bevan. The recording is performed by Chorale Saint-Jean under the direction of Laurier Fagnan. Please enjoy.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. Eminent Chancellor, thank you, merci. To the 2019 graduating class, congratulations and welcome. My name is Rob Agassinis, and I graduated from the University of Alberta Faculty of Medicine in 1988. And it is my honor to congratulate you on becoming a University of Alberta alumnus and to officially welcome you into our alumni family. You are joining a proud and inspired group of graduates committed to each other's successes and committed to building the University of Alberta into one of the world's great universities for the public good. I call upon you to stay connected with each other, with other alumni, and with your university throughout your lifetime. We will be there for you, for each other, and for our university. I also call upon you to go out from this place and to be inspired by the promise and challenge of our alumni. Do great things. Our alumni have done many great things in the past. Now it is your turn. Great things are actions, big and small. They can take place anywhere, anytime. They support other alumni, the university, and our society. And they come from using the knowledge and talents you have gained here for the betterment of yourselves and others. Félicitations et bonne chance. Congratulations and best wishes in all your future endeavors. And now please turn your attention to our screen.
No matter what your story, where you came from, what it took to get here, at this place, you were welcomed. You became part of our family. At this place, you inherited a spirit of innovation, of action, of coming together to uplift the whole people. Our school and our spirit have grown, but we still learn, innovate, lead, solve problems, take action. We raise up our communities, and we help others succeed. We are University of Alberta alumni, and for more than a century, we have come together and carved a new trail for those who follow. Together, we are stronger. Together, we shine brighter. Together, from this place into the world. Together, we have and we will do great things.
In closing, I'd like to offer a few words of thanks. Dr. Carol Cass, thank you once again for sharing your story and your wisdom with our university family. You are an inspiring example of leadership, service, and accomplishment. And in accepting this honorary degree, you bring great honor to the University of Alberta. I also wish to thank our talented vocalist, Ms. Kaylee Henbest, and our outstanding Convocation band under the direction of Dr. Thomas Dust. And I wish to acknowledge the hard work of the staff of the Office of the Registrar and the Office of the Senate for their organization of today's convocation. I'm pleased to invite everyone to join us in the main floor lobby for refreshments and conversation. Finally, to our graduates, congratulations for all that you have accomplished leading up to the conferral of your degree. Today is an important milestone in a journey of lifelong learning. Your education here will open new horizons for you and for our entire community. Wherever your dreams may take you, I invite you to remain close to your alma mater, the University of Alberta. One final thought. As you contemplate your future, I encourage you to remember that of all the things that you may do, of all the successes you may achieve, nothing is more important than the kindness you show to others. Congratulations.
Riders for the flag.